Hey YouTube, we're going to be building this today. It's a scrolling text animation. As the user scrolls through the browser up or down, the text interacts moving left or moving right accordingly. And yeah, let's build this right now. Okay, so now we have a clean slate. So let's start building our layout first. Okay, let's do a Command E. Before we do that, let's give it a dark background color. So on the class, under the body, let's put a BG, I guess black, and then give it a color on the background. Let's give it a black. Great. So that's step one done. Okay, so Command E. Let's look for a div block. And let's give this a class of wrapper. Great. And for the wrapper, we will make it a flex box. And let's make it vertical, center, center. And for the height, let's give it a 200 VH. Because we want to scroll up and down, above and below the viewport. Okay, and then let's make the position relative, because we're going to have some absolute stuff positioned inside this wrapper. Okay, so the next thing, inside the wrapper, let's put in another div tag. Let's do a Command E, look for a div block. Okay, great. And let's title this one the scroll item, because this is the container that's going to be holding the text that's going to scroll left and right. Okay, let's call this scroll item. Great. And then let's make this also a flex box. Make it center, center. Also make it vertical. And let's make the width 100% because we want to fill up the full width of the viewport. Okay, great. And let's, inside the wrapper, inside the scroll item, let's put in the text. Command D again, or Control E for the PC users. Let's look for a text block. There we go. And let's put in some text. The use case for this would be maybe in beginning of a new section, and maybe this section is called what's new. Okay, now let's style this. Let's go look for something beefy, I think. This one, and change the color to white. Okay, and let's make it 200. Oh, remember when you put the text, make sure that text is big enough so that it exceeds beyond the viewport. So I put enough text in there to exceed. Okay, and then for the height, let's just say 160. Okay, as you can see, it's wrapping. So for the breaking here, we want to change that to no wrap. Okay, so that's that. Let's style it a little bit more by putting it as all caps, but let's give it, let's duplicate this. Great. But for the top one, let's make it top as a combo class. For the bottom one, let's give it a bottom combo class. Okay, great. I think this looks okay. So the next thing we're going to do is let's add in a in the wrapper the picture that you saw before. So put in a div tag called another div block, I should say, sorry. And let's call this one the video container. Okay, and let's make this one absolute. Okay, so that's perfectly in the center, and this is in relation to the wrapper, which we set as a relative position. Okay, and then let's give it width of let's say 30%. Okay, and then height 800 pixels. Doesn't look bad. Okay, now let's put in a background video. So let's do the command E again and look for the background video. Then there it is, and upload our video. Very good. Now the problem is that it doesn't fill up the whole container. Now how do we fill that up? Okay, make it 100% width on the video background component, and for the height, make it 100% height, and change the fit from fill to cover. And basically you treat it like an image. Okay, so there you go. I think I'm gonna make this a little higher. Video container. Let's see the size. Let's make it 1,000. Okay, maybe the width 40%. 35. Okay, let's not overthink this. Okay, so that's that. Okay, now let's add in our interaction to our layout. So let's make sure the scroll item is selected, because that will be our a pivot point of our interaction. And go over to the interactions tab. Under the element trigger, look for the while scrolling in view, and on scroll, select an animation of play scroll animation. That's the only one, so that's easy. And let's add in a new scroll animation here and title it text scroll animation. And now let's select the items that we want to animate. So within the scroll item, we want to target the text block, hit a plus, and we want to move it. Okay, so for the initial, it's going to be moving left to right. So for the top one, as you can see, the class is targeting the top combo class. And let's set this to -3, because it's moving x-axis left to right. Okay, and for the endpoint, we want it, oh sorry, actually should not be pixels, should be percentages, because in relation to the browser, not literally 3 pixels, because that would be unimpressive. And let's delete this guy and duplicate this one again and bring it down to 100%. And let's make him or her 3%. All right, so that's set. Now let's target the bottom block. As you can see, combo class as bottom. So for this one, we want to start this from the other side, right? 3%. Okay. And then let's duplicate this, bring it down to the 100% area, and let's make this -3. So this one will go back this way as you scroll. This way meaning left. Okay, so let's preview this really quick. So it's already working, as you can see. So now how do we give that slight rotation as I've shown you in the layout? Okay, again, let's target one, the top one first, and select rotate this time. And we want to rotate it like this, right, on the z-axis. So let's give it 1. Oh, actually, let's try the other way, -1. Yeah, that one looks a little better. Duplicate this one. Let's bring it down to the 100% and make this one at the end the other way. Oops, sorry. We want to keep it the same, actually. My bad. All right, so now click the second text block, and we're also going to rotate that as well. And we want to align it the same way. So this one also want to give it a -1. Okay, now duplicate that one and bring it to the 100%. And let's leave that the same. Cool. Now let's preview it really quick. It's looking good. It's rotated slightly. It's subtle, you know, it's kind of nice. I like that. It's looking good so far. The only thing now, let's add in actually like a smoothing so that when you scroll, it still has that like a delay movement afterwards, like an after easing kind of a thing, which I'll show you what I mean. Here, smoothing. After you save it, you come out here. Make sure the text scroll animation is selected, as you can see, smoothing to about, let's give it, I don't know, 90%. All right, so that's that. As you can see, if I stop scrolling, it still eases movement. So let's publish this really quick. Okay, as I scroll, the top part is moving one direction, the bottom part is moving the other direction. As I scroll down, the opposite happens. Perfect. Looks great. Since we set this as this image behind, maybe you could also put it in the front if you like. So scroll items, let's go to the Z index. Put that as, where's the Z index? Oh, static. Hello. Okay, let's change that to relative. 1. Video container. So we want to put the video container in the front. So let's put the Z index 2. So it sits on top. Okay, let's publish it. Refresh. Okay, there we go. So this is kind of cool. So the text movements happens behind the image. Yeah, so there you go. So I hope you liked this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.